Good evening, my YouTube viewers. It is Crystal here, and what I wanted to do tonight is I want to do a code review. I want to do a code review on two things. On one, how to calculate a factorial, and two, how to calculate the number e. So it's really interesting. If you go on to Wikipedia will tell you a lot of information about the factorial, and they will also tell you a lot of information about the constant e. So I'm not going to actually go onto the Wikipedia page because you can look that up on the Wikipedia page yourself and you can find out all about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the code review. So the first thing that we're going to review is the code to calculate a factorial. So a factorial is n exclamation mark equals n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3, etc. until you get to 1. And so we've got the diagram of the formula on my Jupyter notebook so you can see it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this formula and we are going to convert it to Python code. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to print calc factorial n. And then we're going to define the variable temp equals 1. And then for I in range 1 to n plus 1, then temp equals temp times I, return temp. And then what we're going to do is we're going to print calc factorial 0. So what I did was I was working on a blog post and I was researching the formula for the factorial, and it said that 0 exclamation point is 1 and 1 exclamation point is 1. So I just wanted to check my code to make sure that it worked on the code, and yes, it did work on the code. If 0 is an exclamation, if 0 is the number that you want to perform a factorial on, it'll come up with 1. So let's try 1 here. So you got 1 again. So 1 factorial is 1. 2 factorial is 2. 3 factorial is 6. 4 factorial is 24. 5 factorial is 120. And then 6 factorial is 720. And we'll stop at 6 because anything more than 6, I'm probably going to need a calculator to calculate it quickly. I mean, I can do it with pencil and paper, but I wouldn't be able to do it quickly. I could probably do it in my head, and I wouldn't be able to do it quickly. And since I need to be able to do it quickly for this code review, I'm just going to stop at number 6. So that's it. That's the code that you're going to use to calculate a factorial. And I did it in a function, so you can use this function anywhere you want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the letter E, which E is a number that's about 2.72. And it's really interesting, so you can look that up on Wikipedia and they will give you a lot of information on that. But it's to do with this mathematician, this really brilliant person called Euler. So they gave the number E to honor him because of his work in science. So that's where you actually get the number E. And so the number E starts out with 0 and ends in infinity, and it's a summation, and then so the formula for that is 1 over n factorial. So this is really interesting because what we're going to do is we're going to actually take the calc factorial function that we have previously created, and we're going to use it to actually calculate the constant E. So we're going to define our function called calc E. We're going to create a temporary variable and give it and initialize it as 0 for n in range 0 to 100. Temp equals temp plus 1 over calc factorial n, and return temp. And then we print calc E, and then you see 2.718. So it's close to 2.72. So let's see what happens if we turn it to 1,000. 2.7182. So yeah, so that's what it gives you. Let's just say 50. 2.7182. So it's still giving you the 2.7182 no matter what you do. And so that's really good. And you can see that what we had to do is temp equals temp plus 1 over calc factorial. So we actually have used a function within a function to make it work. So that's something that's very interesting, and that tells you that you can make a function and you can use that function within another function, which is exactly what we have done here. And so that's it for our code review. I only had 2 small little functions to go over with you, but they're important functions because they tell you how to do a factorial and they tell you how to calculate E. So that's fantastic news. I'm going to head and close this code review. I hope you got some information out of it. I hope you found it useful. I would like to thank all of my subscribers for supporting my channel. If you like my video, please like, subscribe, and share because I want to make more videos for you in the future.